So originally I was trading cattle on this block and I wasn't finding it a very satisfactory business model because sometimes you'd have good outcomes, sometimes bad outcomes. So I've switched to a breeding model, trying to breed cattle that would do well in this environment and under my management system. And so far the results have been very positive. So when I went from trading to breeding, I was looking for certain attributes that would help get cattle that were suited to this property and my management. Among those were low birth weights, easy calving traits, but also moderate cow weight, that was quite important, and good eating quality as well, so high IMF in particular, because I'm aiming to go for grass-fed premium markets, so I'm wanting to produce as good a quality as possible. Also looking at some of the rib and rump fat EBVs for early maturing cattle was quite important. And yeah, just trying to get those moderate, easy doing cattle that would do well on grass. The main way I approached it was to look at people who are already doing a similar thing and people who I admire and look at the genetics they were using. And that was actually how I got onto the Waroona stud that I'm getting most of the genetics from now. I was looking at people who were doing similar grass-fed rotational grazing operations and they were very happy with the genetics used there. And using help from some of the breeders that I've been talking to, been able to try to identify genetics that would suit my system. So trying to speed up getting the right cattle for the environment and the management system here and using genetics has been a big part of that. One of the myths that I came across early was that the phenotype was the only thing that mattered. You could tell all you needed to know by looking at an animal. It's been interesting to learn about some of the different outcomes you can get from bulls that look the same but have very different genetics, and there's good data to back that up. So that's one of the myths I think is quite easily dispelled. So the main records I keep in my business related to the production side of things is obviously calving percentages, weaning percentages, but then also look at daily weight gains of the cattle that I breed. I collect a lot of data on the paddock yields using grazing, the online grazing software that works out kilos of dry matter that's consumed and how many grazing days I'm getting out of each paddock. And I'm trying to correlate the production outcomes I'm getting from Maya with the type of animals that are producing that outcome. It's quite early days with that, but I plan to be tracking more the kilos produced per hectare per 100 mils and relate that to the type of animals that are producing the most kilos. Even though I'm only quite early into it, I have been quite pleased by the results I'm getting in terms of the cattle that I'm getting on the ground. Nice, easy doing cattle are being born, both pure Herefords and black baldies. They're doing well on a weight gain basis. This year will be the first year I have calves on the ground from cattle that I've bred on the place, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do as mothers. But at the moment, it seems very positive the way it's going. The advice I'd give to other commercial beef producers is to try to find people you admire and respect in the industry and talk to them about what they're doing in terms of genetics, taking the time to understand how they can be a driver for your business, and then try to use the tools that you get from those people to assist your business, because genetics is a very important part of it and it's a large driver of your profitability.